Yes, isn't it a beautiful day? Another day that we can breathe, we can move, and have our being in the Lord. Uh, I first mentioned to you about the precursor or the introduction there on Facebook, and now we're on YouTube where I'm going to finish out the message for today. This is what I do now, and as the Lord gives me the words to speak, I give them to you. Somebody out there needs to hear this message, and this message is entitled, that in order to be, you've got to know me. Not me, but you got to know me. I like that. Yeah, you'll get it in a minute. In order to be, because especially in the church, and some folk might say I'm hard on the church, but the church has done a great injustice to me and to a lot of other folks. The church has hurt so many people. I didn't say Christ, but his bride has hurt so many people and ran them away from the church and caused some of them to be scattered and some of them to be lost simply because they didn't know me. Yeah, they didn't know me. Because if they knew me, they would know how to be. And since they don't know how to be, they go around hurting folk. Hear me good now. So, I remember years ago, I preach out of my experience, and that's basically all I have. The way that God brought me is a weird experience. Some of the things that God took me through in order to bring me to this level of wisdom that he's given me in my life. But I kind of grew up, I didn't have a full deck, In other words, they say your elevator don't go all the way up. And so I was missing something mentally, I was missing something emotionally, and then that drew away from my ability physically because I was short some. I was over 6 feet tall, but I was still short some. And in order for me, in my mind, to make up for that deficit, that deficiency, I overcompensated of trying to be like somebody else instead of being me. I couldn't be me because I wasn't me. I didn't even know who me was, And a lot of you out there, you don't know who me is. You've been searching for me and somebody else, and that creates a whole spectrum of what we call phony folk. Phony, unreal, full of plasticity. They're not real. They're not on 100. They're not 100. They putting 20 on 10, you see? And what causes that is because somewhere biologically, once they got here environmentally, the environment beat them up and they lost a lot of esteem, they lost self-esteem, and eventually they got on drugs, whatever, and then after a while they completely lost themselves. They lost who they were. They don't even know. And so now they're looking for guidance to leaders, and some of them ain't nothing but copycats too. Some of the biggest copycats I know that I have experienced in my life is in the Church of God in Christ. Most of the preachers, they come up trying to preach like somebody else. They don't know how, well, here's the reason why they try to preach like somebody else. It's because they don't have an experience on their own. They never had an experience with God. So if they see somebody and they go over pretty good, they entertain real good, and they really act the part real good, and they say it real good, they'll try to act just like them, and they're not being me. I'm getting ready to get some of the biggest blessings in my life. I'm talking about from say what you want to say what you please, but women, I'm talking about wealth, I'm talking about materialistic, I'm talking about spiritual blessings. I'm getting ready to move into an area that I ain't never been before. You know why? Because I finally learned that in order to be, and what does be mean? To really actualize. Maslow, that's a cat that goes back, I think, pre-educational psychological areas of existence. He talked about being, actualizing what you really need to have actualization in your life. You need several areas being fulfilled, food, water, and one of those things is love. You got to have all those, about 5 of them. You got to have all those areas in order to really come into a true understanding of me. And once I become me, can't nobody be better than me because I'm me. You follow me? I hope you get this. That's why you got so many problems, even in the church. They phony. And those people who are me and are coming close to me, and they see the relevance of being me, and they see the phoniness of those in the church. All they do is jumping around, flouncing around, doing the dance and hollering and squalling and snotting and snorting. They don't want nothing to do with that. Because they see clean through it that they don't have a clue what it means to be me. And that's why some of y'all can't understand what I'm doing right now. I'm me. This is who I'm supposed to be. I'm me. And since I'm me and you not me, you don't like me because you not me. If you was me, you would like me. Because all me's like me. Because me means that you finally come to a point of reaching total fulfillment, total actualization. You're no more potential, but you're kinetic. Potential is everybody has potential. Yeah, everybody got potential. You got the means to do stuff. You got the gifts to do them. But can you do them? Can you really actualize and become kinetic energy? Energy that's actually in action. And some of you are looking for love in the wrong places. You looking for love out there, and when you should be looking for love in me. And once you find love in me, love will come to you from me. Then that draws other me's to me. But if you don't love me and you don't know who me is, you lost. You're just a sick bitty. You're just a sick puppy. And it's sad. And you got a whole bunch of preachers, bishops. They ain't me. They're using you because they know you ain't me. They see you trying to be them, which they're not me. So you never become me. You always become them. I hope somebody hear what I'm saying today, boy. This one here is a barn burner. Because as soon as you come to the point of coming to an actualization of me, shoot, that's when the rubber meets the road, Jack. I'm talking about whatever it is you want, whatever it is you need, whatever it is you desire from God is you because it's me. Well, let's look at it another way. The only way you know God is to know me. A man cannot know God unless he knows himself or he knows me. Because he's made in the image of God. So why do I have to look on the outside for God and God is in me? I'm made in his image. I am him. I'm me. Who is God? God is I am. I am who? I am me. And anytime somebody becomes I am me, boy, that's double trouble. I'm me, Jack. I'm me. All the time. If you want to call it the devil, if you want to call it a wicked force, if you want to call it an evil influence that's been fighting against you all these years to keep you from discovering and understanding that you are me and that I am is that I am who is me. When you finally come to that point and understand that, it's all over. You don't have to want to be no more. You got so many, and I'm hopping on this church thing, boy. It's pitiful in the church. You got some niggas in the church, boy. I'm telling you, some of these niggas in the church, some of them just pull out, go in the world and get a good experience and get beat up some, then come back, and then maybe they can finally be me. You got niggas on the usher board, niggas deacons, niggas preaching, niggas in the pews. And these niggas don't have a clue of who me is. I am he that have made thee. I am the truth and the life. If any man believeth on me, though he said, if any man believeth on me. I'm going to run that by you one more time. I am the resurrection and I am the life. If any man believeth on me, me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And if any man liveth and believeth on me, he shall never die.